This is News Trail, your daily dose.
It's Thursday, April 9, 2026. Welcome to News Trail. I am Adetola Kayode. Three major infrastructural projects aimed at improving mobility, strengthening land administration, and enhancing public service delivery in Lagos State have been commissioned by President Bola Tinubu. The president, who was represented by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, described the projects as symbols of purposeful governance and development that citizens can see and experience, commending Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu and members of the Executive Council for executing each of the projects, noting that they align with his administration's national vision of building a Nigeria that is modern, digitally enabled, and economically strong. President Tinubu encouraged other governors in the country to replicate the Lagos standard across the country. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu said the project reflects the state's government's commitment to addressing key challenges facing residents through practical and sustainable solutions. He says the project represents his administration's commitment to building a Lagos that moves better, governs better, and plans better for the future of every citizen. The commissioning of the Ojota-Okpebi Link Bridge, the Lagos State Geographic Information Service Building, and the multi-agency administrative complex in Alausa, now named the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Administrative Complex, also had Governors Dapo Abiodun, Doye Diri, Hope Uzodinma, and Babagana Zulum in attendance. Leaders and members of the African Democratic Congress led a large demonstration in Abuja on Wednesday tagged #OccupyInec. The protest, which had former presidential candidates and prominent politicians including Rotimi Amechi, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Rabiu Kwankwaso, Rauf Aregbesola, Aminu Tambuwa, and Dino Melaye, trekked to Maitama roundabout against decisions by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), which they say undermined democracy and the party's internal leadership. The demonstration saw participants singing Nigeria's former national anthem, "Arise, O Compatriots," despite being replaced on May 29, 2024 by President Tinubu with the country's 1960 independence anthem, "Nigeria We Hail Thee." The ADC further confirmed that the act was done in act of defiance. Several demonstrators also held placards supporting Senator David Mark, including ones that read, "In David Mark's NWC we trust." Addressing the protest, former presidential candidate Peter Obi spoke on behalf of ADC members and other opposition leaders, urging Nigerians to defend the country's democracy. Hours after Trump announced a 2-week ceasefire, U.S. lawmakers say they will try again next week to pass a resolution to halt the Iran war and force President Donald Trump to obtain Congress's approval for any further attacks. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer, at a news conference in his New York office, says Congress must reassert its authority, especially at this dangerous moment. Trump agreed to the ceasefire on Tuesday, less than 2 hours before his deadline for Tehran to reopen the blockaded Strait of Hormuz or face devastating attacks on the civilian infrastructure. Trump's threat that a whole civilization will die tonight prompted global concerns and censure from Democrats. Dozens of them called for Trump's removal from office. The 1949 Geneva Conventions on Humanitarian Conduct in War prohibits attacks on sites considered essential for civilians. Schumer called Trump's statements unhinged and criticized the war for failing to weaken Iran's government or rein in its nuclear program, while global fuel prices have risen. Meanwhile, Iran says its nuclear program is peaceful. And that's it on News Trail for today. Many thanks for connecting. Please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, News Trail. And always remember that the only certainty is that nothing is certain. Have a fantastic day.